week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, the Infinite Tsukiyomi arc continues, and we finally get to learn who the mysterious masked man is, and just like last week's episode was hinting, it is indeed the dead father of Neji Hyuga. Hisashi Hyuga finally returns, and honestly what I think is probably the best twist of this entire Infinite Tsukiyomi arc is that he actually did die, but he was resurrected by Orochimaru thanks to the Edo Tensei technique, and that's made abundantly clear when he removes his mask, and you can see all the cracks all over his face. That's pretty much the biggest thing about this episode. Basically, he just has a small reunion with his son. He's eventually released due to the power of love, like a scene right out of Ghost, and he goes away into the sky, flying like a bird. Really, that's the entire episode right there, except that at the very end, they're like, you know what? We need to find a way to make this extend out just a little bit longer. Let's throw in a big, ambiguous, ridiculous explosion, and let's pick this up next week. This is such a ridiculous filler. It almost seems like they wanted to give Neji an Infinite Tsukiyomi story, but they couldn't because he's dead. This was basically their opportunity to do it, and it still makes no sense, like, at all. This is Tsunade's Infinite Tsukiyomi story about her reading a book that Jiraiya wrote, which is all about Neji. Why did Jiraiya write a book all about Neji? So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden? Skip it! That's really it. That's all I gotta say about this week's episode. Nothing special about this one right here. These fillers are just going to keep on going. What I will say is there were some small moments in this episode that actually had some pretty decent animation and artwork. Mostly towards the end of the episodes, the scenes which involved Neji and his father, and of course that big final explosion, and Nagato just starts like freaking out of nowhere. I don't know what this has to do with anything. Maybe it's related to the explosion. Maybe he's the one who actually inadvertently caused it. I'm not sure. What's even more asinine is that the preview for the next episode makes it seem like these events don't even really matter. They basically just show everybody in Konoha Village hanging out. We even get to see another scene of Sasuke actually training with Kakashi to use the Chidori. That sounds fun, right? We haven't seen that like 1,000 times. Why does every single episode have to open up with Tsunade just reading a book and taking a small break and moving to a new section? We get it! She's reading a book! Move on! So yeah, this one was slightly better than some of the other episodes, but still really nothing all that special here. Like I said, you can skip this episode and you will not be lost in anything. Just, my advice at this point is just wait for the canon episodes to return. I'm gonna give this one right here a 2 out of 5. I liked some of the animation moments, but for the most part, this was just another boring episode, which makes little sense because it's Tsunade's story. I want to know what Tsunade is going to do in the Infinite Tsukiyomi world. It's right there in the manga. They give you the material to work with, use it! But before you guys leave today, make sure to tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden. I thought it was a steaming pile of garbage, but what about you guys? Did you like this episode? Did you have a favorite scene or character moment? What do you want to see from the rest of the Infinite Tsukiyomi filler arcs? And what do you want to see from the remaining episodes of Naruto Shippuden? Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!